Hello subscribers, today's review will be on the PNSO prehistoric animal models, Aidan the Cretoxyrhina. Now I thought we weren't going to get a Cretoxyrhina figure anytime soon, given how it just looks like a modern day great white shark. But after they did their Leviathan, my hopes increased, and thankfully PNSO ended up doing a Cretoxyrhina, even before Collect Day. Now let's talk about the packaging. Really nothing new. There's the front, the top, the sides, and the back. Of course, you get this little booklet that shows images, facts, and skeletal reconstructions about the animal. So here it talks about Cretoxyrhina. It says it's able to match mosasaurs, showing how fierce this shark was. And moving on, it's just more images of the model. Here is a projection of the fossil. It's surprising that we have plenty of well-preserved Cretoxyrhina skulls and vertebrates, since cartilage really doesn't fossilize that well. Next page is a skeletal reconstruction. Then there's the teeth. And an artwork of Cretoxyrhina preying on a platycarpus. Hopefully this indicates that we're getting a platycarpus figure in the future. Other than Mosasaurus and Tylosaurus, we don't really get that much mosasaur figures. So that's about it for the booklet. The other paper you get is a larger version of that awesome artwork. On to Aidan himself. So, is this the Cretoxyrhina model us prehistoric marine animal fans have been waiting for? The answer to that is definitely a yes. This figure looks very lifelike, there's plenty of features to it to help distinguish it from a great white shark, and it also has a good size to it. Speaking of size, let's do some quick measurements. At the tip of his dorsal fin, it's about 6 centimeters tall, and he has a flipper span of around 9 centimeters. Lengthwise, Aidan is around 19.5 centimeters long. Everything Dinosaur stated that the figure is around 20.5 centimeters along the curve. If we're using a 7 meter Cretoxyrhina, then this would fit nicely in that 1/35 scale. Even though there isn't a whole lot of detailing, it's still very good, especially for cartilaginous fishes. Of course, they can't sculpt the denticles, since the denticles are very small. You'll still see some musculature on both sides of the body. Looking at him from the top, he is very robust, especially in the torso area. This large, almost symmetrical tail fin is one of the reasons why scientists have suggested that Cretoxyrhina may have been one of the fastest sharks. And since Aidan is a male, he's going to have claspers. This is one of the very few male shark models that are out there. The vast majority do not have claspers, which shows that they are all female. The only male shark figures that I know of is the Collect Day tiger shark and 2 of Schleich's great whites. You can see that there are 5 gill slits, which is the correct amount. And moving on to the head, which is hands down the best part. There's 2 creepy looking glossy eyes, which shows that this was a sight predator. And look how intricately sculpted and painted the teeth are. That is just beautiful. And look how awesome he looks from the bottom. The color scheme is another fantastic characteristic of this model. Huge props to PNSO for giving it this appealing shiny gold color scheme. It really helps to distinguish it from the other shark figures that are out there. If this was gray, it would have looked more like your typical great white shark. And the rest of the color scheme is what you expect from a shark model. A white underbelly, black eyes, white teeth, and a pink interior of the mouth. I really like the pose on this. It's not too dynamic, and at the same time, it's not too static. It looks like he's about to pursue his prey, probably a small mosasaur. This does have the seam lines, but it's really not that noticeable, and I felt like if this one was solid, it probably would have been in that ridiculous $30 to $40 price range. Starting off with our comparisons, here is the Cretoxyrhina next to 3 of PNSO's smaller marine reptiles. Here are the other 2 prehistoric fish from PNSO, the Helicoprion and Dunkleosteus. Since they did these 2, we can definitely see some more prehistoric fish in the future. Hopefully in Adestus or Leadsichthys, and I will also love to see them tackle a Xiphactinus. Next, here are 4 giant sea monsters from PNSO. I still need to get that Himalayasaurus. I love how the Cretoxyrhina is in the same scale as the Kronosaurus and his mosasaur contemporaries. Here is the PNSO mini Ectenosaurus. This is appropriate since Ectenosaurus is one of those marine reptiles that coexisted with Cretoxyrhina. Here is the only Cretoxyrhina we had prior to this one, the minifigure from the Safari Ltd Prehistoric Sharks tube. Here we have the Schleich Mosasaurus and the Collecte Deluxe Megalodon. In front of us is the Collecte Elasmosaurus. Last but not least, here is Aidan the Cretoxyrhina next to the Collecte Xiphactinus and the Collecte Mini Xiphactinus. These two did coexist with each other, and it's great that they're both in 1/35 scale. Well, there you have it guys. This was my review on the PNSO Prehistoric Animal Models Aidan the Cretoxyrhina. This is yet another PNSO figure that I highly recommend you guys getting. It's scientifically accurate, and on top of that, it's got the beautiful gold color scheme and the awesome head sculpt. So this one gets an easy 10 out of 10. If you guys enjoyed this review, hit that like and subscribe button, and let me know in the comment section of what you think of this new Cretoxyrhina.